to another video. As you just saw, as soon as you fire this engine up, we are stuck on flat out. Doesn't matter where you move, you can't move the governor, it's solid. As soon as you start it up, nice and free when it's not, but as soon as you fire it up, just stuck on flat out. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you disconnect the linkages on the carb and hold the carb closed, so it's on tick over, it's still running flat out. It doesn't matter what position you put that carb in. So yeah, interesting one. By the look of it, somebody has had it apart before, because there's sealant all round, and I don't think that's factory. So yeah, nice little sort of test rig, Milwaukee battery and a 2-stroke cam. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to have that back panel off and have a look and see what's happening with the governor. I was hoping it was just somebody had fiddled with the linkages and I'd got it all set back to factory because somebody had fiddled with the linkages, but no, as soon as you start it up, that governor goes solid. Interesting. Right, so before we go any further, a little bit of a background on this engine. Now this engine I picked up from a plant hire company, well not a plant hire company, but plant sales company. It's come off a Compare C14 portable air compressor, hence the decompressor button and the automatic throttle linkage and everything. It can't, I don't know why it'd come out of the machine, they didn't know. It was just going for scrap because it had been sat in the warehouse for months, probably years. So I said, could I have it, because I've got a flower mower which we'll put on the channel soon, which needs repowering, so this is going to be the perfect engine for it, hopefully. I was hoping it would just be a matter of getting it rigged up and starting it and it would run perfectly, but there was a reason the engine was removed in the first place, I suppose. There was a reason it was going in the skip. They don't just chuck good engines away, do we? Well, some people do, but they're a bit strange. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna get it up on the bench, then we'll drop the oil out of it and exhaust off, and we'll have that back plate off and see what's happening with the governor. Hopefully we can solve it and get it going and get it on the flower mower. I've got to the end of the month to get it on the flower mower because I need it for a job, so we better get on quickly. Let's get some tools. We're up on the bench. I like staying right a lot. Let's get some WD-40 on in these exhaust bolts to start with, because all of that's got to come off. Leave that to soak for a minute. Drop the oil out of it. Nothing ever straightforward, eh? Couldn't have just been a linkage problem. Bloody hell. Yeah, you'll strip the threads. Oh well. See if I've got the drain plug in the right place now. It's clean, looks clean. On the plug anyway. There's no lumps of metal. Looks very clean actually. But as per usual with things, you never know the history on them. All I know is it's come out of a C14 Compare compressor. I know the guys that run these like to always bloody wind them up as far as possible so we get them. They reckon they get more power out of it if they wind them up. But don't do the engines much good. They're set RPM for a reason. So we'll see. Looks clean, which is good, I suppose. Let's move this before I trip over it or stand in it. Over there for a minute. Right. Left. 13mm spanner. No. That's a socket, not a spanner. 12mm, of course, it's Honda, isn't it? 12mm. How long have I had this toolbox? Still can't find what I want. One. Two. Three. It's my rag because I'm wiping my hands from my shorts again. It's a bad habit to get into, people. Where's my rag gone? I had it this morning. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. It's hiding. Wait. Before we got distracted by a rag. Oh, I'm going to get in there with that one. Oh, I have to get a spanner on it. Oh, nobody said anything about manual work this morning. Right, 12mm, where are we? 3 hours looking for the spanner I want. There we go. Somebody with a nice rattly Ife Williams trailer, probably. Is that just standard at the Ife Williams factory when they come off the production line? They test them and go, nope, not rattly enough. Take it back. All of my trailers rattle like that. Why do we need to make it such a noisy trailer? That's another thing that reminds me of the bloody, they undo with a spanner like you could undo them with your finger, but you could undo them with your finger and it bloody come undone, will they? Right, I'll get this exhaust off and then we'll get all these bolts undone. You don't need to watch me do that. The exhaust is now off and the last bolt to come out. They're all the same size bolts, so we don't have to worry about where they go. We have a magnetic tray here. Right. Shall we bring you over? Where should we sit here? There. Oh, let's take it off. That bolt out, cut that cable tie. Cable tie was annoying me a minute ago. Oh, I just didn't cut it off in the first place. There, 10mm. 10mm. Take the dipstick tube off. Now I reckon somebody's been in here before with all that black gasket sealant around it. Wayne's black gasket maker. I bet. Now hopefully something's not broken, hopefully they've just done it wrong. Where's he going to put that? Does anybody know what we're looking at? Right. Now, oh. We don't know, to be fair. We were just looking at that piston, looks a bit like it's been apart before, doesn't it? A piston, or is that just a liner? I don't know. I don't know. Let's grab grips. See, I've never had one of these apart, so I'm not sure. Turn that over. Oh no, that's just a liner. That's just a liner. Right, I think we'll stand it back up. All that oil's going to come running out to the end. Bloody floor in it. Right, that's all back together, and we're going to run it up. There's no point in trying to waffle through a YouTube video on how to do that, because I haven't got a clue what we were doing. So I've had a quick Google YouTube. There's nothing on YouTube. There's just Americans that don't seem to have an idea of what's going on. And there's nothing else on there. So yeah, it was just a matter sort of make it up as you go along. I think I've got it set up right now. There's a little Honda video on there of how to set the governor up, which I think I've done. So yeah, we won't know until we run it up. So that's what we're going to do now. petrol. Why are we blowing petrol straight through then? It's not going at all now. We're still stuck on flat out. What is wrong with this bloody thing? Oh, I don't understand this thing. It's an odd one. Right, so after a bit more googling and adjusting and having that back plate off again and making sure the governor works and freeing this off completely, also found that this idle screw had been wound right in. So I've wound that right out, and we're going to see if it'll start and run and do everything it's meant to now properly. Obviously, I've got my helmet on for my earmuffs. So we've got no exhaust on at the moment, so. we go. So that is now running properly, I think. So what was the conclusion then? Conclusion was this governor arm was rather stiff in, sorry, I got distracted by this gasket. Was rather stiff inside the joint going through. The other thing was I was trying to set it up wrong. I thought that this screw here was flat out. It's not. It's on tick over. So when that's up like that, that's tick over. So I was trying to set the engine up the wrong way around, which didn't help. Also didn't fully understand how a mechanical governor works, but I do now, which is quite good. So yeah, as those weights inside that gear turns out, it pushes the shaft outwards, which then pushes this lever, which then closes the RPM down on the carburetor, look. So as the weights come out, the shaft comes out, it pushes the governor back and lowers the RPM, look. And I was trying to set it up the other way around, but hey, every day's a school day. So yeah, now we know how that works. So we'll put the exhaust system back on, air filter housing back on, and we'll go for another run up and see what it sounds like. Let's just disconnect that for a minute. Pull that out of there so we don't blow ourselves up. Right, let's put these back on, shall we? Right, well, I'd say that's all up and running now. So now we are ready for the flail motor then. Hopefully that'll just bolt straight on. Got a funny feeling we're going to have problems with crankshaft pulleys, because I would imagine it's going to be a lot smaller diameter on the flail motor than it is on this crankshaft size. But we won't know until we get it in here. So right, that'll do for now. We'll get the motor up in and we'll try and make the two.